We have as a school to gather together to another worship gathering. What an amazing opportunity we have to gather together and hear the word of the Lord, respond in faith, and to encourage one another. So last week, if you remember, we heard and observed the supremacy of Christ over all things. He's the supreme ruler. He created all things. He sustains everything. He is the image of the invisible God. And because of who Jesus is, he is the most glorious and valuable thing in all existence. And so, he demands our praise. This week, in response, we now must recognize where we failed. We must recognize that even though Jesus is the most excellent thing, the most valuable thing, the creator of all things, that we don't treasure Christ like we should. We're not Christ's treasurers like we should. We replace Christ with a different, tainted, and ultimately worthless treasure. We treasure other things besides Christ. And an idol, then, is anything that your heart clings to or relies on for ultimate security. And it claims the authority that belongs to God alone. John Calvin famously said, "The human heart is a factory of idols." Every one of us from his mother's womb is an expert in inventing idols. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 11 through 13 says this: "Has a nation changed its gods, even though they are no gods? But my people have changed their glory, for that which does not profit. Be appalled, O heavens, at this. Be shocked. Be utterly desolate, declares the Lord. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and had hewn and made cisterns for themselves, broken cisterns that can hold no water." So today, we're going to look at the through line, idolatry discerning. And an idolatry discerner is a person who judges the false promises of idols and sees Jesus as the supremely satisfying creator that he is. We treasure him. The definition of the word discernment in this through line is the ability to judge well. And today we must observe, judge, discern what idols we treasure instead of Christ. So would you please stand and join us as we sing. My treasure thou art. May God be our vision this morning. In the beginning, God. Before there was anything, God. He is the creator of everything that we can see, perceive, sense, taste, touch, and so much more. Because he is the creator, he's not the creation. He is infinitely more valuable, infinitely more powerful than anything in the creation. He is the author of the story. And by the power of his breath, the words from his mouth, and out of the overflow of his infinite love and glory, he created all things. And creation sprung into being. He simply spoke, and the existence obeyed his commands. And this creation celebrates its creator. King David in Psalm 19 says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims his handiwork. Day to day it pours forth speech, and night after night it reveals knowledge. There's no speech, nor any word whose voice is not heard. Their voices go out to the ends of the world." So creation recognizes rightly its creator, and it praises it. It knows who created it, and it sings praises to it. So why don't we? Why do we not do that? So if you also remember back to the garden, a story we've heard over and over again, but this is where the Lord dwelt with Adam and Eve, and he walked and talked with them, and they remembered that they had everything. Adam and Eve had everything they could ever need. They've been created by God. They were created unique, different, and the Lord had formed Adam from the dust of the ground, molded him after his own image, and breathed into him his very own breath, the breath of life. But he didn't just leave this newly created man in the wilderness. No, he planted a garden for him and placed him there. And the Lord spoke again, and upsprung every tree and plant that is both beautiful and delicious: tomatoes, strawberries, peppers, watermelon, cucumbers, spinach, raspberries, beans, corns, apples, pears, and on and on and on. Adam had all he could ever need for both physical and spiritual perfection and satisfaction. But it didn't stop there. God the Creator saw that things weren't finished yet. Adam was alone. So he went through all of his creation to find somebody like him, something that could be with him, but he couldn't find anything. Nobody or no thing was as unique and special as Adam was. No other creation had been made with the same uniqueness. Not one bore the same image that Adam had, the image of the Creator. So out of Adam, he created Eve, his wife. Finally, in Adam and Eve, in mankind, God had made the jewel of his crown. This was the purpose all along. He had spoken all of things into existence, heaven and earth, for his glory, first and foremost, but secondly, as a place, a house, a home for him and his people, where they could dwell with him and be with him for forever. And in that place, they would enjoy the fellowship that God had had with the Spirit and the Son for all of time. And by relying on God for every word and for every deed and for every good thing, they would be in right relationship. And God would take care of this man, and man would take care of the creation. He had a job. He had a job, and he was going to do it. Mankind would go out and see all creation in light of the Creator and treasure the Creator in their hearts. It was to be perfect. But if we know the story, we know that perfection didn't last very long. It was soon shattered. Adam and Eve, under the deception of the snake, did something. They doubted God. They doubted the one who made them. They doubted that he was good. They doubted that he could provide for them. They said, in fact, God, under the deception, that you have lied to us. You lied to us. You want to keep us ignorant. We want to be like you. In fact, we can be like you. We can become God. And so in doing, they replaced God's infinite value and authority with themselves. Instead of enjoying and ruling and seeing all of creation in light of the one who made it, who made them to enjoy it. They made themselves to be like God. And so Adam and Eve lied to themselves. They put themselves in place of God and then told themselves and lied to themselves that they could decide what was true. They could decide what was good and beautiful. They could create things that were worthy to be praised. In fact, they were worth being praised. And they lied to themselves over and over again. And today, we follow that same lie. Today, we believe that same lie that we can become like God. That we can decide what is good, what is worth value. Paul, in his letter to the Romans chapter 1, he says this: "For although they knew God, they knew the Creator, they knew Him, they did not honor Him. They did not honor Him as God or give thanks to Him, but they became futile in their thinking, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Claiming to be wise, they in fact became fools. And they exchanged the glory of the immortal God, the infinitely valuable God, the infinitely supreme God. They replaced it and exchanged it for the images resembling mortal man and birds and animals and creeping things. Therefore, God gave them up in the lusts of their hearts to impurity, to the dishonoring of their bodies among themselves, because they exchanged the truth about God for a lie, and they worshipped and served the creation instead of the Creator, who is worthy to be praised evermore." Amen. And that's what we do. That's what we do every day. We worship the created things. We worship ourselves more than we worship God. Turn your attention to the screen and we watch this video.
You. Look at your eyes. Look at them. Speckled, colorful, each one unique. And I created every one of them. I created everything. The universe and you. I gave you your personality. I made you pure, complex, and every day I give you life. I love you, but something happened. You cheated on me. You didn't trust me. You sinned. You cut yourself off from me. And although you're still alive, you were slowly dying. So you looked for other things. To fill the void. But nothing works. It just kills you faster. And it separates us more and more. What are you searching for? I don't want you to die. I created you, not to be destroyed, but to know me. So I became one of you, a fragile creation. I was tempted, but I never sinned. I came to save you. You have so many sins, and they have a cost. Someone has to die, you or me. So I took on your sin and traded in my life for yours. And I died in your place. Because I love you. Then from the dead. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am Jesus. I'm not here to condemn you. I came to bring you back to life. Rely on me. I will forgive you and give you eternal life. I love you. And I did all of this to have a relationship with you. Will you?
We've screwed up. We've all screwed up. We don't build our lives on the bedrock of Christ. He's done all of those things for us. He's given us life. He's given us all that we can ever need, but we don't build our lives on Him. And if we build our life and our meaning on anything other than God, even if it's a good thing, we sin. We commit adultery. We don't worship God. But what does it mean to worship at all? Some of you who are in my chapel leadership class, I hope you can give me a definition for worship. To worship something is to give worth to it, to ascribe the worthiness of something. Okay? To worship something is to give it value. And things have value, don't they? We are going to hold on to valuable things more than invaluable things. Our iPhones are more valuable than a ham sandwich. Our car is more valuable than the pop can that is in the cup holder. Things have value, and we give them value. And we hold on to things that are ultimately valuable. But Christ, who is supreme over all things, the creator, sustainer, the treasure that He is, why do we exchange Him for something less? Why do we exchange Him for something less valuable? And in so doing, we place treasure that is immediately worthless, and we deface the value and beauty of God's creation, and we reject and shame the glorious treasure that is Christ. And again, this is through good things most of the time. Family, friends, activities, sports, music. But yet, it's something in us that causes us to put it in place of God. And in so doing, we can't enjoy it. We can't enjoy family, friends, and music, and sports, and all those things if it rules our life. Because idols can't hold to their promises. They offer all these great things, but they're going to fail. They always do. So, you might be asking, okay, well, if that's true, then how do I know what are some of the things that I worship? Do you know the things you're prone to giving value, to give more value than Christ? So, here's some diagnostic questions. Ask yourself these questions. Answer them in your head. What's my greatest nightmare? Scariest thing that could happen? What do I worry about the most? I spend the most time anxious about. What if I failed or lost something? The ability to run, the ability to sing, the ability to whatever, would cause me to feel that I don't even want to live at all? What keeps me going? Where does my mind go when I'm free? What preoccupies my time, my thoughts? What reigns in my mind? What prayer, if goes unanswered, would make me seriously think about the goodness of God? What prayer, when I pray, God, do this, I pray that you do this, and he doesn't, would make me doubt him and his goodness? What makes me feel the most self-worth? What am I most proudest of? What do I really want and expect out of life? What would really make me happy? Or, finish this sentence. Okay? I only feel worth if I need. Life only has meaning when. I'm not happy unless ... I only feel worth if I'm loved and respected by others. I need to have power and influence on others. I'm not happy unless I'm recognized by my family, friends for my accomplishments. I only have value if I have nice possessions. I'm up to date on the new iPhone. I'm up to date on the new laptop or what have you. Life only has meaning when my body image matches what I feel is most popular. If I listen to the right music. I'm not happy unless I'm accepted by a certain group of people. I only feel worth if I please my parents and I look like I follow all the rules. Or life only has meaning when Mr. or Mrs. Right loves me and makes me happy. I can relate to some of those. Definitely. Life only has meaning if people know who I am. I feel like I matter only if I have accomplishments. I have something to hold on to. So is that you? Do you find that your affections and your joy, is it being grounded in someone or something other than Christ? Is your self-worth defined by something other than Christ? Are you holding something ultimate authority in your life other than the supremacy and the glory and the treasure of Christ? Here's what you need to know. Here's what you need to know about your idol. That idol that you have, it doesn't love you back. We love it. We give worth to it. We give our lives to it. We give our identity to it. But for whatever reason, it doesn't love us back. It doesn't reciprocate the worship we give it. Why do you think that is? They don't keep their promises. Anything you worship and build your life on, other than God, it seems to just suck the life out of you and eventually destroys you and leave you looking for the next idol. That one didn't work. I gotta do something else. A relationship with Jesus. It starts when you identify or discern the idols in your life. And notice what Jesus was always doing in his ministry. He was constantly identifying and challenging people's idols, the things that they placed in authority, and calling them to turn from those false objects in order to follow and worship him. So here's the point. Jesus is better. Jesus is better than those idols. And I know we say that a lot. It's one thing to consciously say, okay, yeah, I know Jesus is better. It's a whole other thing to reorganize your life. So for us to be Christ's treasurers, for us to fully treasure who Christ is, his supremacy, his rule, we have to be idolatry discerners. Acknowledging that idols only offer false promises and that Jesus is better. Jesus is better. May we seek to know him more and more as we discern the idols in our lives so that we can enjoy life. We can be satisfied in Him, and our affections can be changed in Him, so that we can enjoy music, we can enjoy sports, we can enjoy family and friends because of who Jesus is, not in spite of who Jesus is. I hope you recognize that Jesus is better, and knowing Him is better. Would you stand as we sing once again?
So an idolatry discerner, you can take a seat for a minute. An idolatry discerner is able to judge the false promises of idols and see that Jesus is better. That's it. That's what we mean. That thing offers me happiness, but it's going to fail. That thing promises me security, but it can't fulfill. You know who is an awesome idolatry discerner? You remember the story of Elijah and the prophets of Baal at Mount Carmel? And he challenged them. Let's see who's actually God. And then he did what idolatry discerners are really good at. He mocked the idols. He said to the prophets of Baal, why isn't your God lighting your sacrifice on fire? Maybe he can't hear you. Maybe he's sleeping and you need to wake him up. Maybe he's going to the bathroom and you just need to wait a few minutes. And he mocked the idol, who's weak and powerless. I I think that's what we should do. When we identify something as an idol in our lives, we can mock it. We can say, this thing is weak. It's so powerless. It's gonna let me down over and over. What we want to do right now is just give you a moment to be an idolatry discerner. What's something you've placed your trust in? I just want to give you a couple moments, a spiritual discipline we call confession, repentance. Just let you be on your own, in silence. There's some words on the screen. Those are kind of small, aren't they? Can you read them? Can you see them up there in the corner? Yeah? Okay. If they can see them, then you can see them over here. These are just some ways to help you turn from something weak that can't love you back. Something powerless that can't actually give you the hope and the comfort and the security and the joy you want. And to turn to Jesus instead. Maybe you just start with that first one. Lord, this is something I've built my life around. Or that second one, Lord, this is a good thing. I've turned it into the biggest thing in my life. But I want you to be the biggest thing. I'm just going to give you a couple moments to pray as you feel led. Jesus, you came and died for idol worshipers. You came and died to have our hearts back. You came to have all of our love and affection and allegiance. So we just confess right now. Every one of us in this room, we have this tendency to turn good things you've made into God things, ultimate things. We're tempted to believe that if we could just have control over our own lives, then we'd have security and happiness. If we could just have attention from that person, then we'd have joy. If we just had a few more things, like some of the other people around us, if we had the things they have, then we'd be happy like they are. If we could just make the team, if we could just have that GPA, if we could just find our identity in that thing, we confess our sin and we realize those things are weak and powerless and they will let us down every time, but you never will. So we pray that you would be the master of our lives. Set us free from these idols that we worship. Amen. You stand and sing with us, expressing that attitude of repentance in this song, Give Us Clean Hands.
Spirit, come make us humble. We turn our eyes from evil things. Oh Lord, we cast down our idols. So give us clean hands, give us pure hearts. Let us not lift our souls to another. Give us clean hands, give us pure hearts. Let us not lift our souls to another. Oh God, let us be the generation that seeks your face. Oh God of Jacob, oh God, let us be the generation that seeks your face. Oh God of Jacob. We bow our hearts, we bend our knees. Oh Spirit, come make us humble. We turn our eyes from evil things. Oh Lord, we cast down our idols. So give us clean hands, give us pure hearts. Let us not lift our souls to another. Give us clean hands, give us pure hearts. Let us not lift our souls to another. Oh God, let us be the generation that seeks your face. Oh God of Jacob, oh God, let us be the generation that seeks your face. Oh God of Jacob, oh God, let us be the generation that seeks your face. Oh God of Jacob, oh God, let us be the generation that seeks your face. Oh God of Jacob.
So if you remember, a through line is just a description of the kind of character that God is preparing you to be. And that's what your time at Sioux Falls Christian is all about. So when you're in history class and you get a chance to see all the mistakes people have made in the past, you're learning to be an idolatry discerner. These are things people have built their lives around, and look at what's happened when we've done that. If you play sports here, your coaches are teaching you how to compete in a way that says Jesus is ultimate. And sports is just a great gift God's given us. If you sing in choir, if you march in the band, you're learning to do all of those things in such a way that says, this is really good, and Jesus is even better. That's what your time here is all about. So as you go from chapel this morning, it's our prayer that you would continue to learn in all of your classes and all of your activities before school and after school to be an idolatry discerner who can judge the false promises of idols and see that Jesus is better.